It'll be one to go this time by. Coming to the green, buddy, coming to the green. Let's go get him. Go, 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 Dick, 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 go, 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 go.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway.
Kane with the Seattle Post-Intelligencer. At the beginning of the year, you spoke a lot about this concept of back to the basics, and I'm imagining it kind of as a follow-up to Jorge's question about the competition on track. But do you feel like you guys have accomplished, or at least on track to what you had hoped when you mentioned that before the season began?
Well, I think so. What we meant by that was that when you see guys like me that, and I've got to mention a lot of policy things that are of interest to the media, but week in and week out, we really wanted to zero in on getting Daytona off to a fast start, getting the new car integrated as fast as we could, as safe as we could, and let the storylines of the events be the headlines of what we're talking about, and not, last year we had our own share of distractions with AT&T and things that our fans don't really care. They don't really care about a lot of this stuff that are not on the racetrack. So I think we've done a fairly good job of trying to recognize the best drivers in the world at what they do week in and week out, and hear less from the executive team, and starting with myself, to try to accomplish that.
Jim Mutter, Charlotte Observer. It's been about a month, I think, I asked Ramsey about this, and I was wondering your thoughts or where this stood. What's your opinion on bringing the Rolex sports car division under NASCAR? Did that go anywhere? Is that still being discussed?
It is, and it's it's part of the family today, with the France family having control over that, and it's an exciting series, quite frankly, and it sure was last night. And it is something that if it makes some sense to do, and we can be, and NASCAR can really, we are closely aligned, and that's been the case, but if we can add a lot more to it by making it officially part of the family under the NASCAR umbrella for the sport of sports car racing, it's something we would like to do. But we're not there yet, and it may be a little while before we get there. But it's something that we're looking at carefully.
Bob Margolis with Yahoo Sports again. Brian, we're in a presidential election year, and certainly this is a key wanted demographic by both candidates. Would you issue an open invitation to both candidates to make a visit to one of our races before the end of the year?
I have. I've actually done that directly, and we would. And we would welcome both of them at various times and places. And I anticipate to see both of them. NASCAR's historically been a place that, politicians have come to, interact with get noticed by our fans and just be part of our sport. So my anticipation would be we'll see both of them. We'll see.
Dominic Fischel, Journal de Montréal. Brian, you talked about bringing in new owners in the sport and making for more competition. Yet, in February, there were 53 cars that tried to other side.
Other side.
Right here.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Well, you're behind a pole, for crying out loud. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
And 53 cars in February, 45. You have the 40 car that's folding under an established team. You have the 7 car running without a sponsor, which is an established team as well.
Right.
What do you specifically plan on doing to help first acquire and keep sponsorship, because that seems to be a challenge for owners, and bringing the cost down, because I know that was the goal of the car, but obviously in the first year it doesn't seem to be working.
Yeah, well, it is working, but 18 months ago, maybe shorter, I was being asked by many of you the exact opposite question. Too many cars, too many well-funded teams. They're just going to be disappointed when they go home. What are you going to do? Could you expand the field? Tell me what you're going to do. And what we said back then is true today, that these run in cycles. And we are not immune to a difficult economy. We have had a number of renewals in the sponsorship area with Aflac and several others at very high rates. To teams that are performing well, and we'll always have teams that are who are not performing well that will be more challenged to keep sponsors and that is amplified when we have a tight economy, a very tight economy now. So it's going to always run in cycles, and those of you who've covered the sport for a long time can attest to that, and we just continue to deliver value for the sponsors and the teams as such, and we will be okay.
DwayDrumRaceTape.com. Okay. You've had to make big decisions in your tenure. Does the decision-making process get easier, and what do you consider your toughest decision so far?
Well, I don't know. I don't think it gets any easier. You know, the stakes are high. There's a lot of people that that are counting on us to make good decisions. There are thousands and there's tens of thousands of people who work in the industry now that are dependent on what happens. So those decisions aren't small. I don't have one decision. We have a lot of ongoing things because we're pretty aggressive, and you've seen in the last 5 or 6, 7 years we said, and I said this from the very beginning, that we wanted to be more to stay ahead of things and not be so reactive. We did a really good job reacting to circumstances, but today we're trying to, we're already working on such things as, it hadn't come up today, but what we're going to deem our own green initiative, and we're not waiting around for that to just sort of happen. I've chaired a meeting in Sonoma out around the race with our best people and some experts to talk about a comprehensive approach that our industry could have towards energy independence and towards being friendly to the environment and certainly climate change and all the rest. When I brought our best and brightest people, we spent a full day. We brought in some pretty heavy artillery in terms of people that understood the issues. And so we will be coming over time, and not just NASCAR, but we'll be coming with an industry approach to making this. So that's just one example. There are many, and that's the NASCAR today, that we have a lot of specialized, a lot of smart people, and my job is to give them, as I've said to you before, all the tools they need and give them the priorities that they have to meet, and then hold them accountable to make sure that we meet them, and they're doing that, and I'm real happy with our team. Let's take one more if we could, and we'll.
Ron LeMasters, National Speed Sport News. When we were here in February, the IndyCar Series had not yet gotten back together. Now they are. How does that impact what you do, or does it impact what you do as far as American motorsports goes? It
doesn't directly. I mean, I think on balance, it's the healthier they are, the better all of auto racing would be. And the reason is because they're competing at many of the tracks that either have one or sometimes none, and even if they have two Sprint Cup Series events, that's not enough to really financially sustain these big, large facilities. So the extent that they can be more commercially successful, that's helpful. And they share many of the same partners that we do, starting with the Disney company. So if they're helping the Disney company be more successful with their rights and their telecast, there's just lots of good reasons if the Indy Racing League, and frankly all other motorsports, can be as healthy as possible. That's in our best interest. Yeah.
Thank you, folks.
Okay, thank you.